this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president owner fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late. Should I go back and try to graduate? Life's better now than it was back then. If I was them, I wouldn't let me in. Oh, God,
Good morning, West Effort. Today is Wednesday, October 12th, Day E, and here are your morning announcements. Spirit Week Theme Day voting is open from now until Friday at 2. Choose up to 4 of the theme days you like the best. Link can be found at the high school homepage. The next World Language and Culture Club meeting will be Monday, October 17th after school in room 41. We will be having a Taste of the World food tasting. All are welcome. The sophomore class is selling cookies, Cinnabon, Annie Annie's, and Panera Soup. If you're interested in purchasing any of the above items, find a sophomore. The proceeds will benefit the individuals of the class of 2019. All order forms are due no later than October 14th. Order forms can be turned in to either Mrs. Patton or Miss Stetson. Let's raise some money for the sophomore class. Great job to the freshman field hockey team. The ladies beat Woodstown 1-0 with a goal scored by Grace Holbinger. Keep up the great work. Now, enjoy this video brought to you by WDHS Renaissance Club. That's all for WDTV News. Have a great day.
What's up? I'm Mike Smith. You know, I've realized something over the past few years. Our world, it's more connected than ever. You know, most of us have 3 or 4 social media sites we deal with. You know, we've got our email on our phones, we get text messages, but most of us, we call ourselves busy, but in reality, we check our Facebook 15 times an hour. We focus on, sending Snapchats with friends all around the world. You spend so much time buried in your phone thinking something amazing is happening somewhere else, and so we stay stuck to our phones just scrolling through looking for what's going on. And to be honest, you're missing out. You're missing out on everything that's happening around you. You ever walked into a coffee shop, looked at a group of people sitting there and no one's talking to each other? They're just rolling through their phones. They're not even having a conversation. It's like they invited each other to go to coffee, but nobody's talking to each other. You look over in the car next to you and it's just people sitting there on their phones and they're buried into their phones and no one's actually paying attention to what's happening around them. You see, that's what's happening. You're just missing out. So my friends and I, we've just come up with this thing that we do together called a digital detox. When we spend time together, there's a rule, and that's that we're just not going to be on our phones. If we're in the car together, we just grab all of our phones, we throw them in the glove box or the glove compartment, and we just sit there and we spend time together. It's not about being on our phones, it's about where we're going. You know, when we're at the coffee shop, everybody puts their phone in the middle of the table and nobody's allowed to touch it. And we remember why we even went out to get a cup of coffee. We begin to talk about how we're doing, how each other's day is going, how we can help, the things that we can do. And we laugh as we look around us and we notice all the people who are just buried into their phones and not even having a conversation. We'll go to the park, we'll go hang out, and we'll try to make sure that we're not focused on our phones and we're focused on just spending time with each other. And we've really realized how important it is to have this digital detox. And it's given us an appreciation for the things around us. It's helped us to just keep our heads up. Kind of reminds me of my friend Steve. 10 years ago, he just decided he was done with it. He was done with all the distractions. It wasn't about his phone anymore, it wasn't about his car. He just grabbed a bike and he decided he was going to just document the world. He began riding his bike everywhere. He saw things. He saw things on the side of the road. He saw things happening to people. He began to notice the needs in his community, and he just began taking photos of everything that he saw as he'd ride his bike. And the more and more Steve noticed the world around him, the more the world began to notice him. Because the photos that he was taking were so incredible, he'd capture things that most of us just walked past. And everyone that gets to spend time with him, the one thing that we can appreciate is that he's become an expert of just being present. And if you don't think being distracted is a problem, it is. It's a huge problem. I mean, did you know car crashes are the #1 killer of teens, and being distracted is a huge part of that? Oftentimes we look to our phones to feel included, but what happens is we ultimately end up feeling more isolated. When I learned to put my phone down and just be present with the things around me, that's when I actually began to feel more important. I began to feel more included. So let me ask you, when was the last time you and your friends just hung out? You just weren't distracted. You put your phones down and you just spent time together. What would it look like for you if you just decided to take a mini digital detox? You know, if you're not sure when to do it throughout the day, do it when you drive. Toss your phone in your glove box. Just focus on the drive, focus on where you're getting to. The next time you go out and grab a cup of coffee with your friends, just make it a rule. It's not about being on our phones. It's about being present. Maybe when you're in the cafeteria at lunchtime, don't make it about sending snaps back and forth or hanging out on Instagram with someone somewhere else. Make it about being present. What would it look like for you if you just decided to be a little bit more present? What would it look like for all of us if we were just a little less distracted?